Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the John Went Walking channel. I'm with you this morning from the Florida Trail. I'm in the Green Swamp out in the West Tract. I'm up at almost mile 348. I'm near where I've got the sign here, main trails south and north, and then you can see here Gator Hole Campsite. Gator Hole Campsite is going to be right down this trail, just a very short walk, and then we're headed right back on the Florida Trail heading north. So we're moving north, and this is part 3 of the video that I've made this morning, showing you as much of the West Tract as I can this morning heading north. And we're right above the Gator Trail campsite, so I can even see I know there's a nice little spot right there for overnighters, and I'm sure it would be for through hikers. It would be a really nice place for you to stop if you could work it into your mileage. And again, it's at about almost 348, right in that area. So I'm going to just continue north on the trail, on the Florida Trail, and show you a little bit more of it this morning. It's just an absolutely gorgeous morning. Like I said, this is part 3. If you look at the previous 2 videos, it'll show you the other 2 areas I just walked through, or I just hiked through. And here, I said earlier this morning when I started, right as the sun was coming out, it was a very foggy morning here in Central Florida. And just as the sun was coming out, it was probably mid 60s, maybe 65 degrees or so. But now the sun has been coming up over the past hour and a half, and it's definitely worked its way into the mid 70s. And I have no doubt that we will pass 80 degrees here before I get back to the car or back to the truck, that's for sure. So I'm just gonna keep moving, enjoy the morning, and show you guys a little bit more of the West Tract of the Green Swamp. And it's above, now I'm above the Gator Hole campsite if you're looking on your map. So the entire trail this morning has been passable. There's been nothing. There's a lot of blowdowns out here from the hurricane last fall that are remaining, but they're nearly all cleared. There was one site, there was one spot back there between here and way back in 471, just one spot where there was a giant tree that was actually blowed down over the Florida Trail. And right where that was, there's already a path. There's already been a path made around it just by hikers or through hikers or day walkers, whatever they're doing out here. They've made a little path around it that's easy to navigate, and you're never really too far off the trail. You're always kind of pointed, and it's just impossible to be lost out here, I think. So well, I shouldn't say that when I'm out here like this, but at night, I think honestly I would feel comfortable coming through here at night. I really would. It's that well marked, it's that clear. And if I were through hiking, especially in the summertime, trying to make up miles, I might get up early and try to get out here. You can see a nice little canal running through down here, a little swampy area running through, a little bit of water, which is nice to see this time of the year because we are in the dry season, the real dry season. There's been very little rain over the past several months here in Florida. And once we get back to the rainy season, and we're still really a couple or 3 months from really being in it, but we get to a point in the summertime, it is so wet and humid here that literally every single day, if you live here, you know what it does, but like every single day, it's just not unusual to get a downpour and get an inch of rain in 20 minutes or whatever it is, but then it's over and the cloud blows through, the storm blows over, and you're right back to the hot sun. You're right back to the humidity and bugs and whatever else is out here. But it's just, you got to kind of expect it because it just is how it is if you live down here. Summer times are hot, summer is long, so if you're going to live down here, you got to make sure you kind of are okay with the heat. And so I like a little of both. Like I've enjoyed the past couple of months, the cooler weather and the lower humidity, and especially even back in January, like we had a cold snap here in the Orlando area, back in the Orlando area, well, and here too, here too, I'm in the green swamp, but here too, that I would say it was maybe almost 2 full weeks of, I wouldn't say frigid weather, but definitely cold, where at night it would get into the mid 40s, and in the daytime it might just get to the mid 50s or 60 degrees. So we had that long spot that we all enjoyed and took advantage of. Unless you were a snowbird, then you're not happy about it. But for the locals, we enjoy it because we know that the heat is coming back, and it's coming back soon, and it's going to last a long time once it gets here, because once it gets here, it's going to be here for 8 months or longer. It's just how it is. So there are advantages to it, and there are disadvantages to it. But the older I get, the more I'm grateful for the warm weather. So I'm not as, I don't know, I've been in Florida so long that maybe I'm just getting a little bit soft. And I talked about that in some of the earlier videos. Like, I know I start to Thru-Hike in January next year, and I know there are going to be stretches of time, even if you're in far South Florida, if it gets into the 40s or lower 50s overnight and you're wet in that swamp, it's going to be cold. Like, I could see it being a problem, especially for somebody as soft as me after all these years. So I kind of got to be thinking about that and be prepared for the cooler weather. I mean, there was a period in January here where I wore a toboggan for like a straight, I don't know, several weeks, just because even once the cold kind of broke and it got a little warmer, it was still cold. I mean, for Florida, for down here, it was cold, and we just aren't used to it. So today I can feel it. Today I can feel the heat coming, and I'm not upset about it. I'm glad about it. I'm grateful for it. So okay, so just bringing you along, coming up here. I can see we're going to cross over this old, I don't know if this is part of that old sandy road that I showed you on the last one. I don't know if this is still part of it, but there's Boy Scout camps out here, so I think they probably use it. And then we're going to cut across, and we're going to come right back onto, you can see nice little Florida Trail insignia there, right back onto the trail. So we're still moving north on the Florida Trail, and you're seeing it point to point, step for step, what it looks like out here in the green swamp and the west track. And we're just moving north slowly but surely, getting a nice long walk in here this morning. And I'm so grateful for this, because if you're with me at all, you saw any of the earlier videos, I went through a hernia surgery back a couple of months now. But when I went through that surgery, I think I had the surgery on December the 11th. Like, it kind of slowed me down. Like, they ended up, I had a umbilical hernia, so I had to have my belly button, a hole cut across my belly button a couple of inches, and they had to fix the hernia. So that made me that slowed me down. So anyway, it was to the point where I could only walk for maybe 30 to 45 minutes right after the surgery. Then I went up to about an hour. But now I'm back out to where I can walk 2 or 3 hours, bring a bottle of water, and just enjoy the morning and see more of the trail. And this is what I've been so excited to get back to. Now you can see trail kind of closed up here a little bit, getting a little bit close. Everything's alive down here. Everything's growing. We are at that time of the year, and it's so nice to see this. It's so nice. If I give you a nice wide scan, this is Central Florida, friends. You want to see Central Florida? This is it. It is gorgeous. The trail's closed up a little bit, but still plenty passable. No problems at all. I'm going to walk right through this. I can see an orange marker way up there. We're headed in the right direction, and I'm just going to bring you along. So we're moving along pretty well, heading north on the Florida Trail, and just talking and enjoying the morning. And sometimes, I was looking back at some of these videos, and it's like I talk the whole time on all of them. I think I'm just not a talker. In real life, I just don't talk that much. But this has been good for me, good practice for me. putting the videos together, because before this all started, I really, I've been thinking about a YouTube channel for a while, and it really got serious like in the past couple of years, because I've been watching so many of the Appalachian Trail through hikers, the AT through hikers, and their YouTube videos. I've really been enjoying them, and I wanted to contribute something back to the community. And then last year I watched a Florida trail hiker do a complete through hike, and he YouTubed the entire thing. I forget what it was, maybe like Worth went walking, or I forget what Worth headed north, or I don't know what it was, but it was some guy, and I apologize if I can't remember his name, but I'll look up his name for another video. But he was walking the Florida Trail, and he was YouTubing the entire thing, and he took me along for the entire trip. And after I saw that, I thought, man, this is what I can do this. Like the AT right now, that's the big kahuna for me. I don't want to try the AT until, I just need to plan. I need to feel a little bit better about my through hiking skills, my long trail skills. But the Florida Trail, this was it. This was my opportunity, and it was right under my feet the whole time. And when I saw that YouTube channel, the Worth channel, I felt, man, like this is it. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to bring my video camera along. Now I'm not doing any editing at all. Like, he was a good editor, and he created a really nice channel. My hikes have all been just showing you point to point, but I'll get there with him. I'll be there with him one day. Hopefully I get to meet him one day and say thank you. Anyway, looking out over a lakey area here in the West Track. Beautiful area out here. We're actually going up a little hill here, which is unusual for the Florida Trail, and I know it's just a tiny bump, but still, it's nice. It's nice, just any change of elevation. So anyway, friends, I'm going to cut the video here. I think I'll make one more video this morning, and then to give you guys a really good look at the West Track. And I appreciate you being here. I'm grateful for you. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Wherever you are, you have a spectacular day today, friends.